There is an ocean of everything you want: success, power, and the most satisfying relationships. It's all available and waiting for you. This is The Zone of Action with your host, Gerald Action Jackson.
Today, the subject of this podcast is what's holding you back. What's holding you back? The real reasons people don't reach their goals. You didn't come here for fluff. You came here for truth. And the truth is simple. Every person you've ever admired, every person who built something incredible, every person who transformed their life, they weren't more gifted than you. They weren't luckier. They didn't have a secret doorway to opportunity. They just stopped doing the things that hold most people back. That's what we're getting into today. People ask me all the time, why am I not where I want to be? Like, what stopped me from living the life I imagine? What's blocking my success? Here's the answer nobody wants to hear. Most of the roadblocks in your life weren't put there by the world. They were put there by you. And once you see that, and I mean really see it, you get your power back. So let's walk through the biggest, most common, most destructive things that hold people back. And let's do it in the same way I'd talk to someone sitting across from me at a coffee shop telling me they want more out of life. 1, waiting to feel ready. This is the biggest trap of them all. The reason most people don't take action is because they're waiting for confidence or motivation or clarity. They think there will be a moment where everything aligns, where they suddenly feel ready. But here's the truth. You will never feel ready. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, and anything new, even something exciting, feels unsafe. So your own biology will talk you out of every step forward. Think about all the times you're about to do something important, start the business, apply for the job, write the book, sign up for the class, go to the gym, have the conversation, move to the next chapter. And right when you're about to move, your mind whispers, not yet. That's the trap. That hesitation is how your dreams get stolen. 5 seconds at a time. Action creates readiness. Action builds confidence. Action builds clarity. Not the other way around. You're not stuck because the moment isn't right. You're stuck because you're waiting for a feeling that will never come. 2, overthinking everything. Let's talk about the silent dream killer. Overthinking. Overthinking doesn't feel like a problem at first. It feels responsible. It feels like preparing. It feels like getting all the information, but what you're actually doing is killing your own momentum. Overthinking is the cousin of fear. It talks you out of every idea before you take the first step. You start with, I should launch this business. 2 minutes later, you're in, what if it doesn't work? What if people judge me? What if I fail publicly? What if nobody buys? What if it costs too much? What if I'm wrong? Then 10 minutes later, you're in. Well, maybe I should wait until next year. This is why so many people stay stuck for decades. They convince themselves out of their goals by thinking too much. Here's the truth. You don't need more thinking. You need more doing. You don't need perfect clarity. You need movement. You don't need every step planned. You need to start with the first one. Your life will change the moment you choose action over analysis. 3, letting fear make their decisions. Fear is loud. Fear is persuasive. Fear is logical. Fear is dressed up like being realistic. And most people don't even realize fear is calling the shots. Fear tells you, don't try that. Don't say that. Don't apply for that job. Don't ask that question. Don't go for that opportunity. Don't dream that big. Fear is never going away. You can't erase fear, but you can disobey it. The difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is not that successful people are fearless. No. Successful people move forward while afraid. Fear is a passenger in the car of your life, but it should never be the driver. Fear can ride. Fear can comment. Fear can complain. Fear can whisper in your ear. But fear does not get to touch the steering wheel. When you let fear decide, you shrink. When you decide despite fear, you grow. 4, relying on motivation instead of habits. Motivation is amazing when it shows up, but motivation is unreliable. It's like a friend who shows up when life is fun, but disappears when you actually need help. Habits are the opposite. Habits don't care how you feel. Habits don't care if you're tired. Habits don't care if you're overwhelmed. Habits don't care if you're scared. Habits deliver. Your goals don't determine your future. Your habits do. If you have a goal to write a book, but your habit is to scroll your phone every night, you will not write that book. If you have a goal to get fit, but your habit is to eat emotionally, the goal loses. The habit wins. If you have a goal to grow your business, but your habit is procrastination, the business does not grow. Your habits are either pulling you toward your dream or pulling you away from it. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You need one small habit to start, a habit that reinforces the identity you want to become. Small wins build big lives. 5, staying around the wrong people. Let's get blunt here. Your environment is more powerful than your intentions. You can have the best idea, the strongest plan, the biggest dream. But if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in growth, you will shrink. If you're surrounded by complainers, you will complain. If you're surrounded by people who play small, you will play small. If you're surrounded by people with no goals, your goals will fade. If you're surrounded by people who quit easily, you will quit too. The right people elevate you. The wrong people drain you. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is outgrowing the people who refuse to grow with you. But it's necessary because energy is contagious. Ambition is contagious. Discipline is contagious. And mediocrity is contagious too. Your circle shapes your future. Choose wisely. 6, being addicted to comfort. Here's the truth. We've built a world where comfort is the default. Instant entertainment, instant information, instant distraction, instant dopamine. But comfort kills potential. Growth requires discomfort. Transformation requires stretching. Success requires temporary inconvenience. Most people want change, but want to stay comfortable while changing. It does not work that way. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth, but you cannot choose both. If you want a better life, you're going to have to do things that are unfamiliar, awkward, inconvenient, and sometimes downright uncomfortable. Discomfort is not a sign to stop. Discomfort is the path. 7, holding on to old stories. Most people are not held back by who they are. They are held back by who they used to be. They tell themselves stories like, I'm not disciplined. I always mess up. I'm not the type who can do that. No one in my family ever succeeded. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too late. I don't have the right background. These are not facts. These are stories created from old experiences and outdated identities. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. You can rewrite who you are at any moment. The only person who has the power to stop you from becoming the next version of yourself is you. Release the story. Create a new one. 8, Blaming instead of owning. This is a big one. When life isn't going the way people want, they look outward. They blame the job. They blame their partner. They blame the economy. They blame their upbringing. They blame timing. They blame circumstances. This mindset feels comforting because it takes responsibility off your shoulders, but it also takes power off your shoulders. Ownership is empowerment. You cannot change anything you refuse to take responsibility for. When you say, "This is my life, and I'm responsible for changing it," you take the steering wheel back from excuses, circumstances, and other people. Owning your life is the moment your life starts to change. 9. Being consistent for 2 weeks and quitting. Let's talk about the thing nobody likes to admit. Most people are not consistent. They start strong. They get excited. They set big goals. They go hard for a short time. Then something happens. Life gets inconvenient. The motivation dips. The excitement wears off. They get tired and they stop. The problem is not that people don't start. The problem is that people don't continue. Consistency is not sexy. Consistency is not thrilling. Consistency is not Instagram worthy. Consistency is built in the quiet, boring, repetitive moments. If you want big results, you need small daily actions repeated long enough for the results to show. Momentum is built, not discovered. 10. Underestimating the power of small steps. A lot of people believe they need to take massive action to see massive change. This is why they feel overwhelmed before they even begin. They say things like, "I'll start when I have more time. I'll start when I can really focus. I'll start when I can do everything perfectly." Meanwhile, small steps could have carried them forward every single day. 5 minutes a day builds more progress than 0 minutes a day. Small, consistent actions create compound growth. You don't need to leap. You need to step. People don't fail because the goal is too big. People fail because they underestimate what small daily actions can produce. The tiniest step can change the direction of your entire life. 11. Not setting real boundaries. A lot of people aren't achieving their goals because they're living without boundaries. They say yes to everything. They let distractions run their day. They give their time away freely. They try to please everyone. They absorb other people's emergencies and drama. And then they wonder why they have no time or energy left for themselves. Your dreams need protection. Your goals need structure. Your future needs boundaries. You cannot build a great life while living a boundaryless one. 12, living a reactive life instead of a proactive one. Most people wake up and immediately let the world decide their day. They check notifications. They react to messages. They jump into stress. They allow other people's priorities to overshadow their own. A reactive life will always make you feel behind. A proactive life puts you back in control. When you wake up with intention instead of reaction, you shift from surviving your day to directing your day. It's one of the most powerful shifts you can make. 13. Being surrounded by distractions. The world is loud. The world is fast. The world is full of distractions. YouTube, social media, notifications, phone calls, group chats, scrolling, streaming, noise. Most people fail not because they don't have potential, but because they don't have focus. A distracted mind cannot build a disciplined life. You don't need more hours. You need less distraction. 14. Trying to change everything at once. This is another common trap. People get inspired and decide to change their whole life overnight. They overhaul their routines. They set huge goals. They take on too much. They try to shift 12 habits at once. Then they burn out. Success doesn't come from intensity. Success comes from consistency. Start with one habit, one improvement, one small shift, then stack from there. 15, not believing they deserve more. This one is deeper, but it's real. A lot of people don't go after their dreams because they don't actually believe they deserve them. They sabotage opportunities. They downplay their value. They settle for less. They stay in environments that keep them small. Your life will always reflect what you believe you're worth. If you don't believe you deserve abundance, you'll push it away. If you don't believe you deserve success, you'll find ways to avoid it. If you don't believe you deserve love, you'll choose relationships that reinforce that story. Your success begins with your sense of worth. When you raise your standards, your life rises with them. So what do you do with all this? Let's tie this together because everything above points to one truth. You are not behind. You're not broken. You are not incapable. You are simply human, caught in patterns that millions of people fall into. But here's the good news. Patterns can change. Here's how you start shifting today. Take action before you feel ready. Stop overthinking and make one small move. Expect fear and move anyway. Build habits, not hope. Protect your environment. Choose discomfort over stagnation. Rewrite your old stories. Take ownership of your life. Stay consistent even when it's boring. Master the power of small steps. Build real boundaries. Start your day proactively. Reduce distractions. Change one thing at a time. Believe you deserve more. Change doesn't require perfection. Change requires direction. The moment you stop waiting, stop doubting, stop overthinking, and simply start moving, you become unstoppable. And here's the truth I want you to remember. You are one decision away from a completely different life. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new month. You don't need a new Monday. You don't need a new plan. You need a new moment. This one. Right now. Everything you want is possible. Everything you dream of is reachable. And the only person powerful enough to stop you is you. So choose not to. Start moving, start acting, start stepping into the version of yourself you know you can be. Your future is waiting for you to show up. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, JeroldJax. On Facebook, Gerald Action Jackson and Zone of Action. Check out the website, GeraldJackson.com. Happiness starts with you, not with your relationship, not with your job, not with your money, but with you in the zone of action.